Welcome, Ajit. We are live now, and I'm hosting this podcast for almost 5 years. So, all the listeners,
Mhm.
I'm happy to see you again on this Friday. So, we have a very special guest, Ajit, and the name may sound Indian, but he doesn't sound Indian much. So we met on LinkedIn and we are here. And it is a topic, we have chosen a topic which is well, like my personal favorite as well. So, Ajit, welcome again and introduce yourself. Tell the audience where are you joining from, what do you do? Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, thank you for giving me opportunity to speak. And it's a real pleasure to be with you and talk to you. And I'm so fortunate that I met you on LinkedIn, and it was from your side. We met, and I loved it. Loved talking to you. So I'm in Bulgaria, but yeah, I'm Indian. I'm Indian. I was born in a very small village of Bihar. You know Bihar, right? Maybe
Yes.
the Indian audience we have, they know Bihar. It's a very small village. I was there in Bihar, it's a very small village. I was born there. And then after I traveled many countries, cut short too. And currently I'm in Bulgaria, a little bit, I think 2 hours, 3 hours behind India. And I do coaching for leadership,
Mm.
where basically I more focused on, I would say, resilience, emotional intelligence, where we need these days for our leaders to, I help them in that area. My background is very interesting, and everybody has their own story. I have mine one. Maybe we will touch on those things today.
Yeah.
And that's why I have chosen this to become a coach for a leadership, specifically focusing on adversity to impact, leadership impact.
Wonderful. So this is my favorite topic because for an entrepreneur,
Hmm.
being in a very comfortable job, quitting and starting entrepreneurial journey. So there's a lot. I think no, I would say
Yeah.
no PhD के भी ऊपर का level का leadership
Hmm.
journey is going on
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Being a decade-old entrepreneur, so yeah, I have my own story of evolution, and I'm curious about to learn from you, from your story and your journey, your
Thank you.
inner
Let's see.
of leadership, right?
Hmm.
So, Ajit, tell me a little bit about no, the moment or the point where you chose this topic. Maybe there is a personal moment in your life which
Hmm.
has shaped no, your journey as a coach, and yeah, you chose this as a topic to in your coaching practice. So, how did this turning point around self awareness, leadership, though you
Hmm.
have a varied and rich experience of traveling 30 countries and no,
Yeah.
right
Actually,
now,
it's more. Sorry to let you cut. Let me. Sorry to
yeah,
cut you off. It's more. But yeah, go ahead, please.
yeah. So many countries you have traveled and varied experience, rich experience, and how it brings to leadership, self awareness.
Hmm.
Is there a personal
Yeah.
moment?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much for asking this wonderful, thought-provoking question. And this is a great opening for me. I would say that um, my journey truly has been one of the extraordinary shifts. Tracing back when I go in my childhood, from very small village, as I said in introduction in India. Even then, I was like, it was innocent of
Mhm.
me, perhaps maybe unconscious.
Mm.
Uh, I had this ambition stirring within me, inside me. I was reading about scientists. I remember I was reading about scientists, specifically Albert Einstein. And then after I read about Mahatma Gandhi, in the same book. So I was reading leaders, it was small stories. And that time, one dream I had, like, why not me here? I asked this question to one of my friends, and he laughed at me. And we were like 6, 7 years old. And I said, like, "Hey, my picture should be here." And he was like, "Yeah, really," in our local language. So it was like, somehow it was there in my heart. And given the circumstances, now when I look back, it was looking like impossible. But the
Mm-hmm.
real pivotal moment when self-awareness became my leadership turning point happened much later when I went in hospitality industry. I was incredibly fortunate, looking at my background, to travel across the world. I would say across all continents and 50 plus countries, around 50 countries,
Mm-hmm.
leading and collaborating with teams representing, and in those team like 64 nationalities I had opportunity to work with in the same company, in the
Mm-hmm.
same team, like cross-functional team. It was an immense practical education in human behavior, I would say, and it was a long time ago. I recall in a high pressure situation, there was a high pressure situation. Um, there was either a cultural misunderstanding during an important event, or I would say like some conflict within those team, the diverse team. Then when that's when I suddenly realized that my own ingrained cultural lens and assumptions were actually limiting my effectiveness. And I had to confront my own biases
Mm-hmm.
and the way I naturally interpreted the situation. The pivotal moment was realizing that true leadership wasn't about imposing my way or what I felt right to me. It was about deeply understanding my framework first, and then deliberately seeking to understand and adapt to others' unique perspective. This profound self-awareness around my own cultural conditioning or communication style completely shifted how I interacted.
Wow.
So,
Wonderful. So, I know we keep getting this lesson again and again in our coaching lessons
yeah.
or coaching programs, like the listening, how we listen to others, and the ability
Mm,
to just be present and be available to people rather than being here, caught up
yeah.
in and the noise and the knowledge we have. Sometimes the knowledge also becomes a barrier.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
right. So, very rightly said, like having uh, dealt with multiple uh, nationalities, a cultural association that you're in navigating, negotiating things.
Hmm.
uh, Pretty much, yes, the self-awareness part helps. Like the more aware we are about our own limitation, it helps us navigate it well. So beautifully shared, and it's a rich experience that you have. So when it comes to your coaching practice, how do you,
Hmm.
or what kind of tools you bring for your prospects or maybe clients to serve
Hmm.
around emotional intelligence and with resilience building?
Hmm.
Spoke about this earlier in the
Hmm.
conversation. So tell us about like what you uniquely bring through, what you believe in when it comes to emotional intelligence and resilience.
That's
Insightful.
yeah, that's very powerful. Another powerful question and very insightful. It's something often I reflect on my journey spanning in different countries and different industries hasn't been without its significant challenges, and we can call them like adversities. So there were those adversities, whether it was navigating complex cultural differences or cultural integration, overcoming professional setbacks, or adapting entirely a new environment, new culture. There were like profound learning for a learning opportunity for me rather than I wouldn't take it as a hurdle. I would say that it was a great learning. Going to Canada, going to you have to adapt in like in India you have we have a different culture. Like every region we have completely different setup. Same
Yeah.
thing in Canada. So I come from Montreal. I like I would say that I'm a world citizen, and but because I traveled a lot, but I come from Montreal. I'm a citizen of Montreal. And when you go to Vancouver, which is the western part of Canada, it's completely different. So it was a kind of like a very good learning within that country and within like overall. Now later, like all these learnings opportunities I have later, they became forged for my own emotional intelligence and resilience. In those moments, I had to face my own emotions, like frustration. Like in general, people they go through frustration, fear, stress, not knowing what would be next. When you go through setbacks, you expect somehow unconsciously we condition our mind to for the next failure or next setback. So it was the same for me. Instead of reacting quickly,
Mm.
I had to pause and choose how I wanted to respond. And that happened later. And that's when I learned how important it is to manage our own emotion, my own emotion, see
Mm.
challenges in a new way, and stay strong even when everything is around you is out of control.
Mm.
Because I have walked that path, my coaching approach uh, today is deeply empathetic, grounded to practicality,
Mm.
and it's this blend of lived experience and structured methodology that truly defines my work. And this comes from Marcel Goldsmith. I would never I would cheat to people and to myself if I wouldn't take his name. He's a great personality, Marcel Goldsmith, one of the top coaches in the world. And I took training from his methodology. I learned his methodology. I took certification in executive coaching. For instance, that has been like instrumental for me. With Marcel Goldsmith emphasizing on feed forward. Normally we talk about feedback, but one thing he talks about feed forward directly, and that directly complementing the resilience lesson I have learned. So this is one. I also leverage on, in addition to that, I also leverage on NLP. So I have taken also master, I'm also a master NLP in addition to my MBA on or regular education. But I wanted to become, because it's my passion, I wanted to become a coach. So I took this, so I took this NLP, neuro linguistic programming, uh, for people to understand, to help my uh, coaching partner. I don't like to call them clients, to help my coaching partners.
Wow. Very nice.
Yeah, it makes a distance. It creates a distance, a gap. Somehow I feel that. So I always call my coaches a coaching partner. And so it helps me, this NLP helps me to reframe their beliefs. And that might be holding them back from their true resilience. When a leader comes to me struggling, I can guide them not just through empathy derived from my own journey, but also proven frameworks like the one I mentioned before, the Marshall Goldsmith framework. He talks about insights from his he talks about it. So I learned from that, and also I take insights from the Harvard Business Review. And I also recommend the people they should uh, be in contact with a good network,
Mm.
intelligent network, good network. So a review, and that helps me to cultivate emotional agility and psychological safety. And similarly with resilience, resilience is not only not is not about avoiding challenge. It's about, for me, it's about building the capacity to bounce back stronger. I learned from my own journey, resilience is not a trait. It can't be a trait, but you can build a muscle how we do like exercise.
Yeah.
If you build through your intentional practice and reflects on adversity, you can build those resiliency or resilient muscle. I help leaders dissect their challenges, identify their inner resources, and develop um, specific strategy, whether through it's a mindfulness, reframing their negative thoughts, or building a stronger support network, all reinforced by the principles of behavioral change I have mastered. This all allow them to navigate their ups and downs of leadership with a greater fortitude and grace.
Wonderful. As you were speaking, I could remember one of my coaches' conversation around emotions,
Mm.
and even
Mhm.
challenges, we would say, or something that you're dealing with. So, distinguish, dismantle, and disappear. So, no constraints, or no, these were the steps, and this can work with your emotions as well, like how
Mhm.
it is
Mm.
coming in your way of productivity or performance or anything
Absolutely.
navigating through.
Absolutely.
So I could, it was a recap for me as you were speaking. Yes, these are tools we have learned and we apply,
All right.
right? So having worked, like, not just in your own career path, like
Mhm.
having a variety of experience throughout your career, plus the coaching practice that you have taken on. So while working with leaders,
Mhm.
what are your, what do you see the top blind spots or struggles that they have
Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah.
noticed? Like, yeah.
Yeah. It looks like everybody, no matter who they are, they have blind spots. You know. So
Yeah.
this is where my yeah, and I would say that this is where my international experience and training, what I have taken from Marshall, Goldsmith, or in NLP, or I did other certifications like psychometric certifications, and all this is all come together here
Mm,
because everybody has a blind spot, as I said earlier, regardless of their culture, regardless of industry, regardless of who they are. And in my coaching practice, working with leaders from diverse backgrounds, I consistently see there are many, but three most common I would say that I notice. That's one is impact versus intention,
mm,
and second one is delegation and control,
mhm,
and the third one will be the own emotional triggers and the reaction. So if I have to, fortunately, it happened some example a couple of days ago. So I will bring that one here. So impact versus intention, what did it mean? So um, leaders often intend to do good, to motivate, to inspire their people, inspire their team, inspire their, around people around them. But they are completely unaware of how their words, their body language, and even their silence
mm,
are being perceived by their team. They might think that they're empowering, when in reality their team feels like micromanaged or overlooked over the shoulder, looked over the shoulders. This is where I like to bring the tool that's called psychometric 360, 360 feedback, where everybody, most of the, we know it. It becomes very invaluable, and it's crucial for leaders to get honest, courageous input from their people around them. You know, I often use different psychometric assessments, like I'm certified also in the MBTI, a Myers-Briggs type indicator, or Thomas Kilmann indicator, that is for specifically for conflict management. But I often use depending on where we have to go, what we have to, you know, find out, depending on the situation, depending on the personalities we are meeting, to further help unpack their own strength, their own communication style, for instance,
mm,
revealing their potential gap, where they are, what they are lacking, what they need to work on, how a leader thinks they are communicating, how they are thinking they are communicating, and how it's actually received. And again, I will take the name of Marshall. Marshall Goldsmith, he emphasizes on that without honest feedback, leaders operate in an echo chamber of their own good intentions.
Okay.
All right. So this was the first one. The second one I would say is blind spot delegation and control. This is interesting. So it happened. Many leaders, especially those who were high performing individuals, contributors, struggle in this area, in their struggle, because they don't have bad intention, but it happens because they have conditioned themselves winning, winning, winning all the time. Uh,
Yeah.
so I so so what happens? They believe that they're supporting or bringing a good quality in their team for the organization, but their team perceives them differently. Perceive it as a lack of trust, or sometimes or an inability to empower. That's how they perceive it. And I recall a coaching partner, and I said that I don't like to call clients. So one coaching partner, he was a manager and supervisor, the supervisor for managers, like let's say like a director level, once asking me, "Hey, Ajit, I cannot. My employees are not in my control. What can I do to control them?" And that statement really blew my mind. This itself reveals the blind spot and the shift from trying to control people instead of empowering them. And it highlights the common struggle to move from directive mindset to one that fosters ownership and capability within the team. And this again, I said, like, this is not done intentionally. Like it doesn't have any malicious intent. It's a blind spot rooted in their own past success and a difficulty in shifting from doer to enabler, because they were doer and they think that I had proven strategy, proven things to do, and I was successful. So they are in that shoes. Making sense? So this is the second one I would say. And the third one was emotional trigger. Yeah, again, the leaders might not realize how their stress, their frustration, their impatience is visibly impacting the psychological safety of their team.
Yeah.
They might rationalize that, hey, it was an outburst out of passion. And I have heard it. But
Yeah.
their team sees completely different. They see as a volatile behavior. And that is a big thing for a
Yeah.
leader to show that I'm a volatile. I have a volatile behavior. For example, a situation I'll give you, and this is a real situation. It happened. I was previously, uh, like years back, I was there. I was in Canada, where a manager was asked some question, and that was not easy question, and it was asked by their reporting managers. Again, the manager, it was senior manager, the director level. So a manager asked some question that was very uncomfortable, and maybe it made him feel vulnerable, very uncomfortable, vulnerable. So his immediate reaction was unprecedented. He shut the door. He shut the door, and that was against the company's policy. But emotional trigger was there. This was not calculated, but it was an emotional trigger. And my background in NLP, or also I have taken some emotional intelligence training, is particularly helpful here, as it provides techniques to help leaders identify and reframe their automatic responses. It's usually like the last 5% of efforts often brings 95% of the results.
Yeah.
Unless a leader recognizes their own emotional pattern, they cannot effectively manage them, and they cannot effectively be a good, a good leader leading their like happy team.
Yeah. I think you have listed top three. I think
Hmm.
we can, like, most people listening may find references of at least
Yeah.
one in their experience. So I think it's all coming from your experience as you're speaking. So
Yeah.
moving on, I want to know, like, what would be your go-to strategy if you want to suggest someone, like, unproductive behaviors in your team. So
Hmm.
what would be that? What would be your suggestions around that?
Go to strategy. So, okay. So, helping leaders shift um, unproductive behavior or limiting belief as it at heart of what I do, and that's where my coaching methodology truly
Mm-hmm.
comes into play. My go-to strategy involves a three-pronged approach. So there are three-pronged approach that is deeply influenced by practical principles I have learned through. Again, I cannot refrain myself Marshall's name. I
Mm-hmm.
just love him. So I have learned through his coaching certifications and my expertise in behavioral changes. So the first one, I would say that this three-pronged thing that it's about creating acute awareness of the behavior's true impact.
Mm,
Second one, I would say identifying the underlying belief
mm,
driving that behavior. And
yeah.
the third one, and the most critical one, we focus on implementing small, consistent, and measurable action.
Mm. So
So the
this
first
is,
one, yeah, yeah, go
yeah.
ahead. You were saying
Yeah.
something?
So if we if we try to run and explain all this becomes your coaching program itself. So I think you rightly put it
Hmm.
stepwise, all the three pointers, like definitely working on beliefs to
Yeah.
correct the behaviors, and before doing all of this, understanding of the behaviors is comes first, like how do
Can I
think.
share? Can I share one thing? Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry to
yeah,
cut you.
absolutely.
Are you finished?
Yeah.
Rather than explaining these points, I would say that I have a real experience. Like I met one of my coaching partners recently, and she asked me that, hey, I need to improve in this area. I wouldn't take the name because maybe she will be conscious. Maybe she's listening. I don't know. So I want to improve this area. And when we had this, uh, I call it breakthrough session, when we talk about how I can help. If I'm not fit, I will say no. We realized many things, that not one thing that she had to work on, but there was something within herself needed to work, and she was very happy to recognize that. She said, okay, I'm buying in, I'm going for your coaching. I thought that I have to improve this, but I have to improve this, that. So this was again, like I was sticking to my structure, what I have learned, and the methodologies and my practical experience. And that's what it happened. I was very surprised, happily surprised for her, that she also accepted those things. That is very, not always it's easy to accept. Someone else tells you that you don't think about. So this was yeah, that's I wanted to add here.
Yeah, yeah. So it's always, as a coach, as a mentor, you find things to work on or places to work on very easily for others. But
Hmm.
for us, ourselves, it's a difficult ride. So that's why we have mentors to help us find that out easily. So, moving on, before I get into another question, I want to know, like, people are watching, listening to you. I think there are still people live and listening
Hmm.
to this. They want to connect with you. How want to learn more about what you have to offer and how you help leaders. Tell us the best ways to reach you.
Oh, okay. I was not prepared for that actually. Oh my God, you put me on hot spot. So I normally I love LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is one of the best way to reach me. Also, I have my website. It's called leaderspro.org, and there they can book the uh, you know free breakthrough sessions, and that's how they can reach me. Or also, if they want to reach me, like some Indian, we have like Indian coaching partners we have. They like to WhatsApp, which I'm not used to. So also I provide now WhatsApp number. So, but later we go to Zoom. So yeah, LinkedIn is one of the best one. Leaderspro.org is another one, and my WhatsApp number. If anyone wants, they can message me. I'll give them.
Yeah. So we will have it.
Again,
Like you
yeah,
can drop him a message, and he would be
yeah,
happy to connect in on WhatsApp as well. So
yeah, awesome.
so thank you so much for sharing this, Ajit. So moving on, I think the final question would be,
Mm,
what would be your your advice to leaders, like just in case they are struggling or anywhere they are in their leadership journey, what would be
mhm.
your advice for them, like the first step or one step that you would suggest
Hmm.
them
Hmm.
to start
That's
looking at working.
yeah. That's I would say that one of the all questions were very thought provoking. Like putting me in such journey, dwelling myself inside. This one is also very powerful and very hot to talk about. So if there is one single step leaders who are watching today, or maybe they're watching later, take towards a truly aligned leadership, whether their actions, value, vision are in sync. It would be consistent daily practice of self reflection focused on their behavioral impact. I would repeat once again,
Yeah.
a consistent daily practice of self reflection focused on their behavioral impact.
Mm,
And this formula I'm going to share here. So this may sound like very simple. The sentence is very long, but it may sound very simple, but it's very powerful, very profound. In our busy world today, reactive world
yeah.
today, the leaders rarely pause to consciously assess their own actions.
Mm,
And I would encourage them to take every day 5 to 10 minutes at the end of the day, before a working day, before they close their computer. And perhaps, so, and during the, or while they are commuting, traveling
mm,
from office to home, they ask themselves a few specific and positive, future oriented questions.
mm,
Did I do my best today?
mm,
Did I did I set a best, did I set clear expectations today?
mm,
Did I do my best to genuinely empathetically listening to my team?
mm,
Did I encourage them? Did I offer any encouragement? Did I do my best to let go and empower others? Like, remember delegation and control.
yeah.
So we have to let go also. So did I do that? The key is to frame them positively and focus on the effort they put in. This isn't about judging the past
Mm,
failures. It's about building awareness and reinforcing desired behavior for tomorrow. The small, the one small act done consistently builds the muscle of self-awareness, and it moves them from autopilot, to they really become autopilot.
yeah.
A long time ago, I forgot to mention, do we have time or we are done?
No, no, we can. We can.
We can. Okay, so after this, I will give you an example. We go on autopilot, and it came my very early day when I was a customer service agent. Yeah. So autopilot, as I said, and allowing them these whole things to bridge the gap between their aspirations and their actual leadership presence is the most powerful first step. we can take, because it puts them in the driver's seat of their own conscious growth, paving the way for all other advancement in aligned with those leadership. I hope that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very, very powerful exercise. And I was really, no, I didn't open my notebook. Otherwise, I would have made a note of all the words that you said. But yeah, definitely drop this exercise in the comment
Mhm.
section so that no, if people are coming back to this video, they can
And
know.
also, if you allow me a few more minutes, then I can add one more thing in this. So it's not only doing in the evening after the work. Also, there is one thing, and many leaders that talk around, think tanks that talk around morning rituals. We as a human being, we forget to give time to ourselves.
Mm,
Ourselves doesn't mean that my son is here, my bird or my parrot. I have parrots, so I'm giving an example of parrots. So my
yeah.
parrot, my son, and my wife. No, me. You know, genuinely me. We need to give 10 to 20 minutes every single day in the morning, whether you like to be practicing mindfulness or practicing some kind of meditation, yoga, listening to the music, whatever. There are tons of things. So giving every day 15 to 20 minutes in the morning, and at the end of the day, as I said earlier, to reflecting on our positive, what I did today, to question those things. Did I do the best in this and that area?
It's a
So
very
this
powerful
was,
exercise. Yeah. Go
yeah.
ahead.
And I will add there, and then after I'm done, if you have any other question, for sure. So when I said autopilot and I went in my own world of customer service, I was seeing the people around me. We go like so automated. Thank you
Mm,
for calling this, and then after we start without any emotion, without any kind of thinking. So we always have to be, and we talk about, you know, the script. We just read the script there, and we become like a very monotone. And so just that came in my mind in the moment when I was talking about autopilot. Once a while, I was also on autopilot when I was in customer service sometimes. But I love emotional intelligence, and I love to observe myself and people around me. So I was observing that, okay, I'm going autopilot. At that time, there was no such tools we have right now. Maybe there was, but it was not available
we're
to
not
everyone.
aware of it. Yeah.
Yeah, we were not aware of it, but now we are all like a digital world. We all understand. We have AI,
Yeah.
AI there to understand. So yeah, all right. So this was the one example I wanted to give
Yeah.
of
So thank
autopilot.
you so much, Ajit, for sharing. I think we had a very insightful and intriguing conversation, and a lot of takeaways for people who are leading, not just at home, leading teams. These philosophies, these ideas apply. You can apply at home with your own team at in the family.
Abs-
Please also too,
Absolutely,
and
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. This is not only about at work. It's about at home. You lead from home. You lead at home in your relationship. If you are not emotionally intelligent, why it happens that people they go in, let's say like relationship breakup? Emotional intelligence is there. We listen less and speak more. We speak first and think after.
yeah,
You know, and that's where that's not only the reason I'm saying, but this is one of the reasons
yeah.
that we forget to listen to people around us. You know.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, we can talk like a lots of things on
Yeah,
this
we can
around. Yeah.
go on and talk about it. But as we started this conversation, we talked about listening, and as we are closing, we are also talking about listening. Listening is one of the
Mm,
top skills, to not just be build your ability to be self-aware and
mm,
be present, be available, and many other things. Like, being a leader, this is one of the top qualities where, top skills, I would say, you need to have,
Mm. Yeah.
right? And many other things we, talked about this. So thank you so much, Ajit, for sharing your time, sharing your knowledge and wisdom with all of us.
Thanks to you.
I'm sure there is something for everybody to, take away from this.
Mm.
So thank you so much,
Yeah, I hope so.
and looking forward. You have a great day ahead, and good night for people in India.
Thank you. No, thank you
Okay.
very much for inviting me. It was a real pleasure. And anytime, if you think that I'll be adding value and I will be valuable, please count me in, because it's a
Sure.
very interesting to talk those things and bring it to our next generation, or even generation from my other generations as well, because it's really, we need help. We need help, helping each other, and that makes our powerful community and powerful leaders around us. All right. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Take
Yeah.
care. Bye
Have a
bye.
good day. Bye bye.